Alright. Let's see. What's the best way of doing this?
Cutting was only a way to transform sorrow into pain, but this little girl had no sorrow left to shed.
Right. Okay, so let's do this shit. Nah, bro, get that update out of here, bro. I'm not trying to update this shit right now. I got shit to do. Still kind of torn on these titles, to be honest. Damn, it's gonna go away, isn't it? Okay. So we'll put it over here then. Can that go down one? Yeah. Harsh enough to turn live bodies into hollow vessels accompanied by wind that whipped and slashed shards against the skin, leaving men both frozen and forgotten. Boom. I'm one. Done. Shit's gonna be a bit boring to go through, but it is what it is. Oh, this didn't have a break in it. Although it looks like better, it looks better on here with the break, but it doesn't, it's not really supposed to. Oh well, I'll put a break in it. It looks better on here. The strongest of warriors were not taught by striking sword to wooden post, but by having heavy practice blades break bones at slightest mistake. Okay. shit. I don't know if I like the look of this shit, but you know, being really particular with it, I guess it is what it is. Is that how you spell that? I don't know. You're busy right now? No worries, man. I mean, I think you're the only one here anyways. Shit. So I'm just rereading all this shit. Oh shit. That's right. To fend for herself. Fend for herself. Pure isolation. That was the only enjoyable thing about the snow-coated prison that many more wealthy than her called their home. Okay. While her memories of that place were bleak, one night played in her head over and over again. Replayed might work, actually. One night played in her head over and over again. One night still while her memories of that place were bleak, one night still played in her head over and over again. I like that. One night still played in her head. Still played in her head over and over again. It was far too long ago to recall any exact details. It was far too long ago to recall any exact details. Any exact details. And every attempt to pull some back only led to them slipping further out of reach. And any attempt to pull some back only led to them slipping further out of reach. The more she tried to speed up the process, the more time she would need to spend recovering lest she plunge into the water below. The more she tried to speed up, the more time she would need to spend recovering. The more she tried to speed up the process. I don't like that as much. The more she tried to speed up, the more time she had to spend recovering. As she plunged into the water below. What's up, Mr. Mad? How's it going, man? The more she tried to speed up, I'm double checking like my work real quick. I'm gonna put this out soon. Pretty big day for me to be putting this out, actually. It's just a big moment, I guess. The more time she would need to spend recovering. The more she tried to speed up, the more time she had to spend recovering. She would need to. The more time she would need to. She would need to spend recovering. The more time she would need to. Yeah, that sounds better. Lest she plunged into the water below. Yeah, I'm just looking to put this out. This is like the first bit of like real writing that I'm gonna actually be putting out of mine, so I'm trying to make sure it's perfect, because in the past when I've uploaded like tests and just like previews and sneak peeks or whatever, it's just like there's always something like slightly off, or I misspell one word and it bothers the fuck out of me. So I'm kind of doing the spelling right now, but I'm more so like comparing my edited version of the writing to make sure every word is exactly the correct word. Because sometimes, you know, sometimes you don't use the exact same words, and then it can like, I don't know, it just becomes worse without you noticing it because it's like very, very slight. So basically, I'm reading on my left like my edited version, and then I'm just like trying to translate that into this. This faint vision in her mind showed that of a young girl born without a heart, but it was not this iced-over city she found herself in that proved too much for its subtle beat. This faint vision in her mind showed that of a young girl born without a heart. I used a comma in this. But it was not the iced-over city she... Yeah, I think that's better with the comma. But it was not the iced-over city she found herself in that proved too much for its subtle beat. It was something far worse than frostbite that took her heart. It is pretty tedious, but the only thing I'm worried about is I'm just gonna put this out and it's gonna get no views. I put so much pain into this shit that I don't want it to get no views. Like, I feel like it's gonna bother me, but it is what it is. It's just kind of part of the process. Like, it literally is just part of it. I don't know. It's kind of just part of it. Views are pretty hard to get. At least these long days of starvation were set to end once her older sister came back with food. At least those long days of starvation were set to end once her older sister came back with food. Once her older sister came back with food. Okay. Ripples in her memory. Ripples in the memory didn't allow. Ripples in the memory. Would it be the or her? Ripples in the memory didn't allow for her to recount that wondrous taste of life. I feel like it should be her. Ripples in her memory didn't allow. I feel like it should be her. Ripples in her memory didn't allow for her to recount, but then that's like double her there. Ripples in her memory didn't allow for her to recount that wondrous taste of life, but she did recount an image of her older sister looking at her with those loving eyes. Ripples in the memory didn't allow for her to recount. Maybe the is correct. Maybe the does sound better. Which one do you think sounds better? Ripples in the memory didn't allow for her to recount that wondrous taste of life, but she did recount an image of her older sister looking at her with those loving eyes. But she did recount an image of her yeah. But she did. I mean, they both pretty much sound good, I guess. Not that big of a deal. I'm very particular with my words, though, I don't know. But she did recount an image of her older sister looking at her with those loving eyes. An image that now made her chest feel empty. There is no such thing as true happiness, not for a child left on their own, unwanted. There is no such thing. An image that now made her chest feel empty. There is no such thing as true happiness, not for a child left on her own, unwanted. Yeah, that's all correct. I think it should be the because of the double her. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. Like, both of them sound good, but it being double her, it makes it sound... You really don't want to, like, double up words too much. Like, as much as you can avoid it, you want to avoid it. Unless, well, there's certain sentences, actually there's one coming up where I intentionally doubled words. But that's, like, a different thing. You can kind of tell the difference between intentionally doing it for, like, a heavy-hitting line and, like, it being just the way you're describing it kind of thing. Her parents didn't even give her a name when she was born. Her parents didn't even give her a name when she was born. She was a mistake, and along with her sister, they threw her to the streets before disappearing. She was a mistake, along with her sister, so they threw them to the street before disappearing. She was a mistake, along with her sister, they threw her to the streets before disappearing. That is worse. This is better right here. She was a mistake, along with her sister, so they threw them to the street before disappearing. Yeah, that sounds better, 100%. Okay, I guess I'm actually editing the edit then. Because that shit sounds better, what I wrote there. She was a mistake. She was a mistake, along with her sister. So they threw them to the street. So they threw them to the streets. Should it be street or streets, plural? They threw them to the street before disappearing. Or should it be, so they threw them to the streets before disappearing? Probably just street. Street works, I think. Even those days weren't too bad. Even those days weren't too bad. Starving and barely surviving. At least back then she had the warmth of another, her sister. Okay. I think that's good. I mean, there's not too much of this to do. We're almost halfway through it already, so it's really not that bad. It's a bit tedious, but it is what it is. You think it should be streets? Actually, did you mention it was hers beforehand? What, the dream? Or wait, no, the memory? I did mention it was hers. She's like thinking back right here, kind of. This faint vision in her mind showed that of a young girl born without a heart, but it was not the iced over city she found herself in that proved too much for its subtle beat. It was something far worse. I just noticed I spelled that wrong. I'm not really looking at the spelling too heavily here, though, but if I notice it, I'll fix it. I'm gonna look at the spelling later. I'm just kind of making sure they're the right words. Something far worse than frostbite that took her heart. At least those long days of starvation were set to end once her older sister came back with food. Ripples in the memory didn't allow for her to recount that wondrous taste of life, but she did recount an image of her older sister looking at her with those loving eyes, an image that now made her chest feel empty. There is no such thing as true happiness, not for a child left on their own, unwanted. I think it's pretty clear that it's hers. Starving and barely surviving. Wait. She was a mistake along with her sister, so they threw them to the street before disappearing. She was a mistake along with her sister, so they threw them to the streets before disappearing. They threw them to the street before disappearing. Yeah, maybe it should be streets. I don't know. I mean, I think both of them. I mean, it's another one of those things where I think both are correct and both sound good. I don't really know. Is this... Can't tell. Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, it's not. Okay, cool. Hang on. Is that like... Is there a break there? It looks like there is to me. Oh, what the fuck? That's why. Just wondering what the fuck was going on. I'm gonna say if it was hers, then it should definitely be the, and I think street sounds better in my opinion.
And last time.
Okay, So we got that finished. Now we got this shit. This is where I intentionally doubled up a lot of words. Too bad that warmth faded quicker than flame in the endless white. Too bad that warmth faded quicker than flame in endless white. Shouldn't be the. The makes that line weird because this is a reference to a place. It's like a. This is a double. This is like a meaning that most. Like. This is an Easter egg, I guess. This is an Easter egg, is what it is for my writing, I guess is what you would call it. Like, the reader shouldn't understand really what that means. Too bad that warmth faded quicker than flame in endless white. Like, the reader should be thinking, like, you know, flame is fire, red. Endless white is, like, suffocating the flame. It's fading like flame in endless white. Or, like, snow. That's kind of roughly what the reader's mind should go to, but there's a place in my book called Das Endless Weiss, which means, like, the endless white. And it's cold as fuck. So it's a double, it's like a play on words. This is a play on words. So even if it sounds better with the, it's better without, because it's not, shouldn't be the. Let's see, so, where am I? It's so hard because I have to keep looking back and forth at two different things of writing, and I get lost. Too bad that warmth faded quicker than flame in endless white. For one day she woke up and her sister was nowhere to be found. For one day she woke up and her sister was nowhere to be found. Her sister was gone like the light in her eyes. She was gone like the light in her eyes. Her sister was gone. That sounds better. Her sister was gone like the light in her eyes. Gone like the hope in her chest. Gone like the smile on her face. And gone like the blood in her veins as she slid glass across her wrists one more time. Gone like the hope in her chest. Gone like the smile on her face. Comma. I don't know if I like the way this shit looks, I just don't know why, but it's bothering me. Maybe she does sound better here, because we're repeating her sister. Okay, I do like that more, actually. She was gone like the light in her eyes, gone like the hope in her chest. I don't know if I should break these up, too. Nah, I don't think so because of the and line. It just starts to look weird to me, but that's just me. Okay. The memories torturing this soul broke again as she tried to recall the simplest of things. The memories torturing this soul broke out again. The memories torturing this soul broke again. Broke again. As she tried to recall the simplest of things. She tried to recall her sister's name. She tried to recall her sister's name. Was Eleanor? That's not how I spelled it. It doesn't really matter, but... Was Eleanor the name she should be cursing? Or maybe it was Elena. That sounds good. Maybe it was Elena. I think after a while of staring at something, it'll look weird because it looks fine to me. Yeah, I think so too. It's just words. Like, it just looks weird to me, but that's all. Or maybe it was Elena. Lost my place. Or maybe it was Elena. Would she even recognize it if she were to hear it again? Would she even recognize it if she were to hear it again? Wow, my fucking keyboard, bro. Sometimes it just fucks up. It's annoying as hell. If she were to hear it again, would she even recognize it if she were to hear it again? With so many holes in her memory, she wasn't really certain how she ended up here. She wasn't even certain how she ended up here. Yeah, I don't like this part. There were so many holes in her memory that she didn't even remember. She didn't even remember how she ended up here. There were so many holes. There were so many holes in her memory. She didn't even remember. Didn't even. So it's kind of annoying because I have to edit both things. I want them to both be the same thing. That's basically what I'm doing. So I'm editing this one off camera, or like off live stream too. All the memories of her early years. Wait, remember how she ended up here. Remember how she ended up here. Yeah, okay, that's good. So on to the next one. All the memories of her early years were from one place she never recalled leaving. All the memories of her early years were from one place she never recalled leaving. All those memories of her younger years were from a place she never recalled leaving. All those memories of her younger years. All those memories from her younger years. All the memories of her early years. All the memories of her younger years. Younger years, that sounds better. All the memories of her younger years were from one place she never recalled leaving. All those memories of her younger years were from a place she never recalled leaving. Were from a place she never recalled leaving. Were from a place she never recalled leaving. Yeah, that sounds better. A place far lower in temperature than Vela, the city resting on the coast of the Amethyst Sea that she now found herself in. A place far lower in temperature than Vela, the city resting on the coast of the Amethyst Sea that she now found herself in. Yep. Okay. Okay, that's good. Some people here, everyone knew she was odd. She even went as far to say she was born. Some, that makes sense. Some even went as far to say she was born from the wild and had no mother. Is that italicized? Nope. That looks kind of weird italicized. Maybe I gotta italicize that too. I do. Either that or I could just use like a completely different font for like italicizing words or something. So I added this actually because the original line I wrote was some people here said she was born from the wild, and sometimes she wondered if that were true. These memories were so loose in the mind that she questioned if she even had a mother. But deep down she knew it was unlikely. Even more so she knew that she would do bad things if she ever found out the truth. I don't know if I like that as much though. Well, fuck. I was hoping I wouldn't have to make any decisions on shit, really. I was hoping this would just be quick and easy, but it might not be. The original one. Some people here said she was born from the wild, and sometimes she wondered if that were true. Everyone here knew she was odd. Everyone here knew she was odd. Some even went as far to say she was born from the wild and had no mother. By the way she arrived by cart. Something like that. I might just have to freestyle this shit. Some even went as far to say that she was born from the wild and had no mother due to the way she arrived by cart. But deep down she knew that were not true. But deep down she knew it was unlikely. But deep down she knew that was unlikely. That sounds good, I think. Everyone here knew she was odd. Some even went as far to say that she was some even went as far to say that she was born from the wild and that she as far to say that she was born from the wild and that she had no mother. No mother. Due to the way she arrived by cart, but deep down she knew that was unlikely. Even more so, she knew that she would do bad things to her if she ever found out the truth. That sounds good to me. Let me just copy this. Can I copy this? Nope. Not on this shit. Wait, hang on. Maybe over here I can. Okay. Wait, there's a problem here. Where is it? Right there? Yeah. It's hard to tell if there's like breaks here or not because the word is like, because the italicized like actually kind of, I might want to double space in between italics. Does that look better? Because the italics are kind of like, they do fade over a lot into the next word. But that kind of, it looks weird. Maybe double space the end of them. Nah, I don't know if I like that either. It's just, but it is leaning like kind of a lot. I feel like the italics is important too. I mean, it should be fine. It looks alright. It just looks a bit weird. Yo, what's up? Is that Brayden? What's up, man? If it is, I feel like that's you. I'm trying to work on this, like, Rinmore Reaper thing. I mean, I could play it. I'm gonna play it in a second, so I don't know how long you'll be here, but if you want to hear it, you know. I'm about to play it, like, because I'm just, like, I'm doing some really boring shit right now. I'm doing some really boring shit right now, basically. I'm basically like, I've got like my actual writing that I've edited on my left, and I've got what I've written over here and like what I'm editing on the right, and I'm basically just going through it slowly and making sure that every single word is like the same word, like basically kind of shit, but she knew that she would do bad things to her if she ever found out the truth. Okay, we got that down. Alright. Let's go to the next one. Right here? Alright. All these thoughts piled into this young teen's mind as she continued to watch blood streak from her arm. All these thoughts piled into this young teen's mind as she continued to watch blood streak from her arm. Streak from her arm. Streak down her arm? Watch blood streak down her arm as she continued to watch blood streak down her arm from her arm. Probably down. Down sounds better, right? Streak down her arm. I feel like that sounds better to me. Streak down. That sounds better, right? All these thoughts piled into this young teen's mind as she continued to watch blood streak down her arm. Yeah, that sounds better. Got to. This method wasn't... Oh yeah, this is different. This is different. This method wasn't as satisfying as she had hoped. It wasn't as satisfying as she had hoped. Yeah, no, it needs to be this method, because it's about the method. This method wasn't... Wait, this method wasn't. I already have a wasn't. This method wasn't as satisfying as she had hoped, yep. The other way was so much better, but she didn't have enough energy to throw down tonight. There was another way, but she didn't have enough energy to... Yeah, I don't like that as much. The other one's better. The other way was so much better. There was another way that was much better, but she didn't have enough energy to throw down. She knew of another way that was much better. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. She knew of a way that was much better, but she didn't have enough energy to throw down tonight. I gotta edit this on my writing. What did I write? She knew of a way. That was much better. Was much better, comma? God damn, this shit's not fun to do, bro. But she didn't have enough energy to throw down tonight. She now realized cutting was only a way to transform sorrow into pain. She now realized, yeah, that's important too. She now realized that cutting. She now realized that cutting. She now realized, yeah, that cutting was only a way to transform sorrow, or to turn, to transform, to turn. I like transform. She now realized that cutting was only a way to transform sorrow into pain, but this little girl had no sorrow left to shed. It was a feral hate that whipped around inside her chest. It was a feral hate that whipped around inside her chest. So if cutting was a tool for sadness, she needed something much more for this hate. She needed something much more to satisfy this hate. Should it be this hate or her hate? She needed something much more to satisfy her hate. She needed something much more to satisfy this hate. It should probably be her, but like I don't mind it being this as well because this makes it seem like it's almost not hers. Like it's almost like it's a part of her, but it's not her, which is kind of cool. But needed something much more to satisfy her hate. I mean, probably her. To satisfy her hate. Okay, boom, on to the next one. We're slowly getting there. After all, if there was one thing she knew, it was that one can rid themselves of all shortcomings. It was that one could rid themselves of all shortcomings. I don't know if I like the dots. You just have to do it proper. This could be italicized, or it could be bolded or something. Bold looks kind of nice. It's like very faint. I mean, like pretty much unnoticeable, but like it's there. I don't mind that. I don't mind both even. Both looks good. After all, it was because this is like a double meaning. This line's a double meaning. Like, one of the things Grail says, because she has, like, you know, she speaks with heavy slang, like, one of the things they say, and she says, is, like, yeah, I did him proper, which means I fucked him up really, really good, basically. It means I fucked him up really bad. So this is, like, it's a play on words. It's like, one can rid themselves of all shortcomings, you just have to do it proper, which is, her way of, like, well, it just means opposite things, like, in one sense, it means you can actually get rid of all your shortcomings. You can become a better person and, like, you can do things correctly. You just have to do it proper. Like, you have to do it the right way. But she's not referring to the right way. She's referring to, like, hurting herself and fucking herself up. I don't know if I like the dots, but, I mean, I don't mind them. It was that one could rid themselves of all shortcomings. You just have to do it proper. I'll probably just go without the dots. The shard in her hand turned to face her heart. She was itching to dig it deep and search for worth that she knew was hidden beneath. She was itching to dig it deep and search for the worth that was hidden beneath. Search for the worth hidden beneath. Search for the worth that she knew was hidden beneath. I like that more. Search for the worth that she knew was hidden beneath. Unfortunately for her, she couldn't muster the courage. Unfortunately for her. Yeah, that sounds good. Unfortunately for her. Unfortunately for her, she couldn't muster the courage. The vision would have to do for now. Alright, we're almost done. We're getting close to the end of this shit. Aren't we? Maybe? Not really close to the end. We're like 60%. We could see the end in sight. Not too bad. The vision would have to do for now. Alright. It played out vividly in her mind as her days went on, scrounging for food in the shadow as a volcano of hate hid beneath her skin. It played out vividly in her mind as her days went on. Scrounging for food in the shadows? Scrounging for food. Scrounging for food in the shadows. Shadows. As a volcano of hate hid beneath her skin. A volcano of hate hid beneath her skin. Although a few things did seem to hold back that fury inside her. Although a few things did seem to calm that. I like calm more. Calm is nice because that's exactly how she feels. Although a few things did seem to calm that fury inside her. Like the night she found herself laying under the stars in the forest as she watched the local wildlife. Like the nights. I like that more. Like the nights she spent in the forest. Like the nights she found herself laying under the stars in the forest. Yeah, I like that more. Like the nights she found herself laying. I'm losing my place though. The night she found herself laying under the stars in the forest. Okay. In the forest. I really don't like doing these edits. They're really annoying, to be honest, bro. But you gotta do what you gotta do to make this shit look good. The forest looking... Wait. It's laying under the stars in the forest. Oh, I had the stars. And I put listening here. Interesting. I put listening. Why did I put listening here? As she watched the local wildlife. I like that more. As she watched the local wildlife. But those nights she found herself in Vela were different. But those nights she found herself in Vela were different. But those nights she found herself in Vela were different. Alright, boom. On to the next. We only got a few more, bro. Not that bad. Yo, what's up, Funny? The editing's been alright. It's really tedious as fuck, but I mean, I'm trying to get through it because I really just want to put this shit out because, I don't know. It's literally my life and I've never put any of it out. So I want to put it out. Even if I'm worried that nobody will see it. So I'm doing some really tedious shit right now. That's why you guys are hearing me read every line slowly and like... I'm just double checking like everything basically. In Vela, she always found herself in the Rinmore district looking for a quiet corner to lie down. In Vela, she often found herself in the Rinmore district looking for a quiet corner to lie down. In Vela, she always found herself in the... Yeah, she always found herself. It wasn't often. She always found herself. She always found herself in the Rinmore district looking for a quiet corner to lay down. Is district capital? You're right, you will see it. Some nights were as silent as they get. Some nights were as silent as they get. And other nights you were forced to pretend that you didn't hear someone getting ran down and bladed on the street. Some nights were as silent... Do you think there should... some nights were as silent as they get, and other nights you were forced to pretend that you didn't hear someone... You were forced to pretend you didn't... You were forced to pretend you didn't hear someone getting ran down... Getting run down? Is it run down or ran down? Or either one. You were forced to pretend you didn't hear someone getting ran down and bladed on the street. You were forced to pretend you didn't hear someone getting run down and bladed on the street. Is it run or ran here? I wrote run the first time. Getting run down. That's what I have written on my actual writing, not ran. Getting run down and bladed on the street. But it wasn't until now she had an interesting thought. But it wasn't until now that she had an interesting thought. But it wasn't until now she had an interesting thought. But it wasn't until now that she had an interesting thought. But it wasn't until now that she had an interesting thought. But it wasn't until now she had an interesting thought. I'm getting really picky with these, but... Getting run... On other nights you were forced to pretend you didn't hear someone getting run down and bladed on the street. Now she had an interesting thought. Now she had a new interesting... Now she had an interesting thought. Now she had a new interesting thought. No, that sounds weird. But it wasn't until now she had an interesting thought. I guess this is correct, I don't know. Let's look at this, alright. Okay, definitely not I mean, I don't like that there. I know I changed that. But it wasn't not okay, this, I changed pretty much all of this, I think. Or not all of it, but I changed a lot of this. I'm just gonna go with this. For the years she had been there. Can't fucking see what I'm typing because this dumb shit goes off the screen. For the many years she had been there, why did she choose to stay in the most vile place? Would they kick her off the streets in Northern Vela? Would they kick her off the streets in Northern Vela? I told you why. I told you why. I wonder if I should bolden this too every time. Maybe not. Maybe just italics. Well, that's changing everything. Hang on. Is it all bold now? Why is it all bold right now? Okay. All reset. There we go. I told you why, said the voice in her head. I told you why, said the voice in her head. Yeah, not regardless. I don't like regardless. It wouldn't say that. You belong down here. Make something of yourself. I know you feel this. Make something of yourself. I know you want this. Yeah, it should be I know you want this. I know you want this. Oh, I know you want this. It loomed in her head with sinister intent. It loomed in her mind with sinister intent. It loomed in her head, in her mind with. It loomed in her head with sinister intent. Can you feel that? Make something of yourself. I know you want this. Okay. That's good. We're really close to being done. And then I'll play the whole thing. See what we think. I mean, I'm not done with the editing of the voice of it either, but I mean, we'll check it though. A voice manifested by pure hatred that never rested. It implanted visions of hurting herself and others into her mind at every turn. It was no life to live. This lonely child didn't even know her own age. Not that it mattered to her. That should be a comma. Not that it mattered to her. Not that it mattered to her. Age was nothing to celebrate. Whether she had been here for 15 or 16 years did not matter. Whether she had been alive 15 or 16 years. Whether she had been alive 15 or 16 years did not matter. Yeah, that makes clearer. The only thing that mattered were the wars she fought in and outside her mind. The only thing that mattered were the wars she fought in and outside of her mind. The scars that spanned her body, both from animal attacks and fits of her own rage. Those scars that spanned her body, some from wild animal attacks, but most from fits of her own rage. I like that more, I think. Those scars that spanned her body, some from wild animal attacks, some from wild animal attacks, but most from fits of her own rage. Yep, that's pretty fire. Okay. She hadn't achieved anything in life, and the voice in her head constantly reminded her that she was nothing. She hadn't achieved anything in life, and that voice... And the voice in her head constantly reminded her that she was nothing. Weak and worthless. This went on for months. This reminder went on for months, and while the forest may have calmed her mind, went on for months. This reminder went on for months. This reminder went on for months, and while the forest may have calmed her mind, the surrounding berries only did so much for someone her size. She may have been young. She may have been young, but this little girl was a soon-to-be giant. God damn it. How does it do that? Soon-to-be giant. Luckily for her, one night she happened to spot food left in a forgotten bando. Luckily for her, one night in Renmore she spotted leftover food in a forgotten bando. One night she happened to spot food left in a forgotten bando. One night in Renmore she happened to spot food. She happened to spot food. She happened to spot food. She happened to spot food left in a forgotten bando. Food left, yeah, in a forgotten bando. One night in Renmore, she happened to spot food left in a forgotten bando. She didn't question why or who had left it. Because that mattered not. Because that mattered not. Because that mattered not. Because that mattered not. For if the choice was to starve or steal, there was only one correct answer. For if the choice was to starve or steal, she knew there was only one correct answer. Only one correct answer. Mic turns off again. My mic, the shit mic, turns off after inactivity, and it doesn't fucking register that I'm doing anything with my mic because nothing's playing, even though I'm talking into it. Okay, she refused to leave this world weak and worthless. She refused to leave this world weak and worthless. She refused to end up like her sister, frozen and forgotten. She refused to end up like her sister, someplace frozen and forgotten. I think I like it, just like that. She refused to end up like her sister, frozen and forgotten. What about she knew there was only one right action to choose? I think that overcomplicates it. I think that makes it sound like too long or too much. I think this still sounds good. She didn't question why or who had left it, because that mattered not, for if the choice was to starve or steal, she knew there was only one correct answer. If the choice was to starve or steal, she knew there was only one correct answer. The only other thing I'd want to change this to is, for if the choice was to starve or steal, there was only one correct answer. But I'd rather be like, she knew there was only one correct answer, because there is only one correct answer, and she knows that. I think this is better for that reason. Alright. She refused to leave this world weak and worthless. She refused to end up like her sister. Both frozen. Should it be both frozen? No, I think I used that earlier. She refused to end up like her sister, frozen and forgotten. Sounds good still. Luckily for this young girl, she would soon get an opportunity to prove that she was something more. Luckily for this young girl, she would soon get an opportunity. I spelled this wrong. Why do I keep losing my place? Like, every time I fucking look over, it's just... I think that's how you spell it, I don't fucking know. I was spelling it with an E, I don't think you spell it with an E. Now it's looking really weird to me anyway it's spelled opportunity. I think it's spelled like that. She would soon get an opportunity to prove she was something more. She would soon get an opportunity to prove that she was something more. An opportunity to stop wishing for respect. Stop wishing for respect and start demanding it. Start demanding it. But the road to legacy is not one so easily traveled. There were many obstacles in her way. There were many obstacles in her way, and she knew that. And she knew that. And she knew that. I think I should actually move this sentence. But the road to legacy is not one so easily traveled, and then I should get rid of this. But the road to legacy is not so easily traveled. And then go here, and then add this line in here. There were many obstacles in her way, and she knew that, comma. But what she didn't know... Let's see. She knew that. But what she didn't know was what was lurking in the pitch that stormy night. nor the legacy it carried within its long, chilling blade. Alright. Do you guys want to hear this shit and see what you guys think? Yeah, I still have Apex clips on this. I need to get rid of those. I didn't know I had Apex clips on this. Alright, so probably while we're listening to this though, probably because while we're listening to this, the words aren't gonna match up. Just so we know, because like, just so we're clear on that, because I just did redo the words, so like, what I spoke in this, like, I'm gonna have to go back and like edit it, you know? But yeah, I'll play like what I recorded of it, and we'll see what we think of it. My god, I hate my voice, man.
The Renmore Reaper, Part 1. Frostbite. Frost. Harsh enough to turn live bodies into hollow vessels, accompanied by wind that whipped and slashed shards against the skin, leaving men both frozen and forgotten. A life of pain and suffering, while not the most glamorous, stands tall in the field of teaching. The strongest of warriors were not taught by striking sword to wooden post, but by having heavy practice blades break bones at slightest mistake. In a place that holds no remorse, only the strong survive. But this young girl was no warrior. She was nothing of note, a child of woe left to solitary to fend for herself. Pure isolation. That was the only enjoyable thing about the snow-coated prison that many more wealthy than her called their home. While her memories of that place were bleak, some nights replayed in her head over and over again. It was far too long ago to recall any exact details, and every attempt to pull some back only led to them slipping further out of reach. Traversing these fragments of her past felt like running on an iced-over lake. The more she tried to speed up the process, the more time she would need to spend recovering, lest she plunge into the water below. This faint vision in her mind showed that of a young girl born without a heart. But it was not the iced-over city she found herself in that proved too much for its subtle beat. It was something far worse than frostbite that took her heart. At least those long days of starvation were set to end once her older sister came back with food. Ripples in the memory didn't allow for her to recount that wondrous taste of life. But she did recount an image of her sister looking at her with those loving eyes, an image that now made her chest feel empty. There is no such thing as true happiness, not for a child left on their own, unwanted. Her parents didn't even give her a name when she was born. She was a mistake, along with her sister, so they threw them to the street before disappearing. Even those days weren't too bad, starving and barely surviving. At least back then she had the warmth of another, her sister. Too bad that warmth faded quicker than flame in the endless white, for one day she woke up and her sister was nowhere to be found. Her sister was gone like the light in her eyes, gone like the hope in her chest, gone like the smile on her face, and gone like the blood in her veins as she slid glass across her wrist one last time. The memories torturing this soul broke out again as she tried to recall the simplest of things. She tried to recall her sister's name. Was Eleanor the name she should be cursing? Or maybe it was Elena. Would she even recognize it if she was to hear it again? There were so many holes in her memory that she didn't even recall how she ended up here. All those memories of her younger years were from a place she never recalled leaving, a place far lower in temperature than Vela, the city resting on the coast of the Amethyst Sea where she now found herself. Everyone there knew she was odd, some even going as far to say she was born from the wild and that she had no mother. But deep down she knew it wasn't so, and she knew she would do bad things to her if she ever found out the truth. All these thoughts piled into this young teen's mind as she continued to watch blood streak from her arm. Cutting wasn't as satisfying as she had hoped. The other way was so much better, but she didn't have enough energy to throw down tonight. Cutting was only a way to transform sorrow into pain, but this little girl had no sorrow left to shed. It was a feral hate that whipped around inside her chest. So if cutting was a tool for sadness, she needed something much more to satisfy her hate. After all, if there was one thing she knew, it was that one can rid themselves of all shortcomings. You just have to do it proper. The shard in her hand turned to face her heart. She was itching to dig it deep and search for the worth she knew was hidden beneath. But unfortunately for her, she couldn't muster the courage. The vision would have to do for now. It played out vividly in her mind as her days went on, scrounging for food in the shadows as a volcano of hate hid beneath her skin. Although a few things did seem to hold back that fury inside her, like the nights she found herself laying under the stars in the forest as she watched the local wildlife. But those nights she found herself in Vela were different. In Vela, she often found herself in the Rinmore district looking for a quiet corner to lie down. Some nights were as silent as they get, and other nights you were forced to pretend you didn't hear someone getting run down and bladed on the street. It wasn't until now she had an interesting thought. I mean, she had been here for years. Why did she stay in the most vile place? Would they kick her off the streets in northern Vela?
Who knows?
Said the voice in her head.
Regardless, you belong down here. Make something of yourself. I know you feel this.
The voice loomed in her head with sinister intent.
Can you feel that?
A voice manifested by pure hatred that never rested. It implanted visions of hurting herself and others into her mind at every turn. It was no life to live. This lonely child didn't even know her own age. Not that it mattered to her. Age is nothing to celebrate. Whether she was here for 15 or 16 years did not matter. The only thing that mattered were the wars she fought in and outside her mind. Those scars that spanned her body. Some from animal attacks, but most from fits of her own rage. She hadn't achieved anything in life, and that voice in her head constantly reminded her that she was nothing.
Weak and worthless.
This reminder went on for months, and while the forest may have calmed her mind, berries only did so much for someone her size. She may have been young, but this little girl was a soon-to-be giant. Luckily for her, one night in Rinmore she happened to spot food left in a forgotten bando. She didn't question why or who had left it, because that mattered not. For if the choice was to starve or steal, she knew there was only one correct answer. She refused to leave this world weak and worthless. She refused to end up like her sister, frozen and forgotten. Luckily for this young girl, she would soon get an opportunity to prove that she was something more. An opportunity to stop wishing for respect and start demanding it. But the road to legacy is not one so easily traveled. There were many obstacles in her way, and she knew that. But what she didn't know was what was lurking in the pitch that stormy night, nor the legacy it carried within its long, chilling blade.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty fucking good at this shit. That's what I would say. I don't know what the fuck this shit is. It's gotta be another thing of my writing or something.
Just find some random neat.
Yeah.
Or better.
This was me working on some like fucking voice shit. This was, well, that's not. What is this?
Oh shit, there's another way.
Yeah, this is me working on her voice. Like how you double up your audio. I gotta like double or triple up my audio to do that shit. I think when I do the voice, I want it to like, but I want to do it in a way where it says different things. And make it really hard to hear. Like but like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm gonna redo these ones.
And worthless.
Like that, how you hear the doubled up audio.
Weak and worthless.
It's cool. But I'm gonna redo it, and make it to where I want it to say other things. Like, so, for instance, like, okay, here's what I want it to be like. This is what I actually want. Alright, listen to this.
Weak and worthless.
Alright, so that's a triple track. That's 3 times where I'm saying weak and worthless in 3 different, kind of slightly different voices, and then I made, actually, they're all around the same.
Weak and worthless.
Right, so I'm basically, it's just to imitate her inner voice, right? But I also want like a really faded out, like super like hard to hear, like aggressive voice where it's like, you're fucking weak. Like I want that in the background of this, basically. But I don't know if you'd be able to hear it. But that's kind of what I want. I almost want it to be like nearly inaudible, but I want it to be like, the voice doesn't necessarily always say the same thing. It's literally like she's got voices in her head that's constantly just fucking angry. I want it to be like that. That's kind of like my plan with it in like the end, is to have it saying like a couple different things. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what you guys think of that. I think it's pretty damn good, to be honest. How long is this? 10 minutes? 6 minutes, so that's not that long. Shit, I don't know if anybody's here anymore, but I listened to it. It was pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I heard this video has 7,000 views. The other video is better. Why does that always happen? Like the video that I put, like the best videos I put out don't get any views. Well shit, people were here, but I guess not.
The Renmore Reaper, Part 1. Frostbite. Frost, harsh enough to turn live bodies into hollow vessels, accompanied by wind that whipped and slashed shards against the skin, leaving men both frozen and forgotten. A life of pain and suffering, while not the most glamorous, stands tall in the field of teaching. The strongest of warriors were not taught by striking sword to wooden post, but by having heavy practice blades break bones at slightest mistake. In a place that holds no remorse, only the strong survive. But this young girl was no warrior. She was nothing of note, a child of woe left to solitary to fend for herself. Pure isolation. That was the only enjoyable thing about the snow-coated prison that many more wealthy than her called their home. While her memories of that place were bleak, some not the snow-coated prison that many more wealthy than her called their home. Than her called their home.
What TikTok did I want to pop off? The customs one. The one that got the least amount of views from today.
While her memories of that place were bleak, some nights replayed in her head over and over again. It was far too long ago to recall any exact details, and every attempt to pull some back only led to them slipping further out of reach. Traversing these fragments of her past felt like running on an iced-over lake. The more she tried to speed up the process, the more time she would need to spend recovering, lest she plunge into the water below. This faint vision in her mind showed that of a young girl born without a heart. But it was not the iced-over city she found herself in that proved too much for its subtle beat. It was something far worse than girl born without a heart. But it was not the iced-over city she found herself in that proved too much for its subtle beat. It was something far worse than frostbite that took her heart. At least those long days of starvation were set to end once her older sister came back with food.
You got a dub on Apex? Let's go, bro.
Ripples in the memory didn't allow for her to recount that wondrous taste of life. But she did recount an image of her sister looking at her with those loving eyes. An image that now made her chest feel empty. There is no such thing as true happiness. Not for a child left on their own, unwanted. Her parents didn't even give her a name when she was born. She was a mistake, along with her sister, so they threw them to the street before disappearing. Even those days weren't too bad. Starving and barely surviving. At least back then, she had the warmth of another, her sister. Too bad that warmth faded quicker than flame in the endless white, for one day she woke up and her sister was nowhere to be found. Her sister was gone like the light in her eyes, gone like the hope in her chest, gone like the smile on her face, and gone like the blood in her veins as she slid glass across her wrist one last time. The memories torturing this soul broke out again as she tried glass across her wrist one last time. The memories torturing this soul broke out again as she tried to recall the simplest of things. She tried to recall her sister's name. Was Eleanor the name she should be cursing? Or maybe it was Elena. Would she even recognize it if she was to hear it again? There were so many holes in her memory that she didn't even recall how she ended up here. All those memories of her younger years were from a place she never recalled leaving. A place far lower in temperature.
It's fucking lot to edit. I have to redo so many of these voice lines. It might even, well, no, I don't think I should just restart and record all of them again, but I'll have to re-record a lot of these voice lines. Gotta head to bed. Alright, thanks for chilling with me, man. See you later. I don't even know what to record, man. I don't know what to do. I feel like so weird about the writing thing. This is the other one.
Disrespect muttered on the street, backed by spineless neeks that didn't feel an ounce of what she felt.
They think they feel like us?
Questioned the dark voice in her head, spitting nothing but disgust, and with one last breath, Only one sentence was quick to formulate in her mind, leaving her mouth along with the vital essence of life. Man, I never felt hate till you walked the block with a nank, praying some worthless neek prees at them too long so you could turn a man into fucking dust. As her eyes burst open, she hesitated to move. She had yet to realize the blood only existed in her dreams. But that blade, it was not a work of fiction. It was gripped tightly in her hand, hidden beneath the covers as if it were her lover. But for the first time, it made her uneasy. Not enough to let go of course, but nervous enough to where she repositioned her body in such a way that would possibly prevent an unfriendly interaction. One created by a less than peaceful side of her mind.
Did the blade whistle? I have no clue what that means.
But you gotta tip the... I think I want them to leave.
Alright, I'm gonna turn this off real quick, 1 second. Alright, I don't even know what to do, bro. You can hear me, right, Funny? Feel like maybe not. Maybe not. Well, definitely hear me on the stream. back. Welcome back. Not really sure what I'm gonna do, to be honest. Is this a good title? I think it's too long. What you want to do with a title as well is you want to make it like not super clear. So like, I mean, I don't know what it's about, but like just by me looking at what you just put, what I would title it is I would put like "When the River Runs Dry." That's, in my personal opinion, it's way better. Like just lose the complete last bit of it. If I was to title it, I would just say like "When the River Runs Dry." That goes hard. You don't want to add like too much, in my opinion. Like I like long titles, but like I would consider a long title like 4 words or 5 words. Because I also like titles that are just 1 word. It's like Frostbite. Like that's a good title. It's just like simple, straight to the point, but you don't really know exactly what it's about. Man, my favorite title that I've ever made for this story, or like my favorite title in The Ren Reaper is like The Ones Who Walk Like Me. Like, that's a really good title. You don't really know exactly what it's about, but it's also just like cool. So yeah, I would say like you don't add too much detail. I like them being like ambiguous a little bit. I don't know what to put out of my writing. Like I want to put something out. I mean, I want it to probably be this, but I got like more work to do, so I'm trying to think if there's something else. The Michonne part, maybe, I don't know. I forgot I wrote that. Hmm. I don't know. Just like don't have much fucking motivation to do this shit. I don't know if I want to get off stream or what. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like no one really listens to it or anything, so I don't know. It doesn't feel like, I don't know. I just don't have like motivation because it's like it's done. I mean, it is pretty much done. Like I've listened to it like 80 times, but I feel like I'm the only one that cares, which makes sense because I am. But I guess I just wished it wasn't so. I don't think putting it out will do much, to be honest, but it could. It's unlikely though. Maybe start on a new part like the one about Nelly. I don't know, but I think like the problem isn't like what I'm doing. The problem is that people don't listen to it, or like I can't get any views. Or I mean, even like now, like I feel like I had like 3 people or 4 people that were here, but then I played the whole thing and no one said anything about it. So it's like kind of like okay. Like I put in way too much work for this to be for nothing. Like that's basically all. Especially when I make like, you know, fucking videos that take me 10 minutes and I get like thousands of comments on them or some shit. It's pretty rough when I put like hours and hours and days and months and fucking actual physical pain into this shit and then it just turns into nothing. It's kind of just like what do I do? So it's not about like the content of like what I'm doing, it's just about that. I don't know. I mean, it's still. I mean, you don't have to say anything. Like, I don't know. You don't have to say anything, especially if you feel like you're just repeating yourself or whatever. But I don't know. It's definitely weird when I play it and no one says anything. I mean, that's definitely not a good feeling because it's just like, all right, cool. I thought it was good. I don't know. So it's kind of strange. I don't know. What's up, Tail Gaming? How's it going, man? Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's like, it's more of a me problem. I mean, I have a stream with like fucking 3 or less viewers, like at all times nearly, and like I just expect people to say shit or whatever, but I don't know. I think I don't really mind when I'm like gaming or whatever, even though like that kind of is the purpose of the stream is to like have a chat and like have people talking. I mean, you can't really stream without a chat. I mean, you can, but it's like, it's literally pointless. Like, the point is that there's a chat, basically. And, like, you interact with the chat. But, I don't know. Especially with something that matters. Yes, hello? I said hi, Tail Gaming. What's up, man? Can you not hear me? I mean, Funny can hear me, so I feel like you should be able to hear me. Okay, you do. That's good. What's up, man? I don't know. I mean, I could like put out another like kind of teaser for my writing. I mean, I could put out like a teaser to the Nelly part. I don't know. I don't really know what to do. You're gonna invite me to what, bro? I'm not gonna join. No offense. I'm not gonna join any invite. I'm not gaming right now. Not talking to anybody right now. I'm just not in the best mood. I'm not really doing that shit. What's wrong? Shit, what isn't wrong, bro? I don't know if I want to put out anything from Nelly's story. Oh no, because I don't really like the beginning of it yet. I need to edit that. I have a little bit of the Vendra story, but well, I thought I did. I don't know where it's at. It's apparently not here. Oh no, here it is. Have you posted anything on the Discord about almost having it out? Yup. People don't listen, bro. You know this, like, people want what they want. They don't really care about me, which is fine. Like, I don't expect them to, but yeah, like you are one of the very few people that actually gives a fuck about like what I'm doing. Like you and Wild and like basically all the mods, right? Like you, Wild, like Marvin, Raven, Harley, like basically, I mean, essentially basically all the people I modded. But you guys are really the only ones that care about like that shit. The people in the Discord, most of them just care about like doing customs. They don't really care about like the effort I'm putting in to make it happen. They don't really like care about me or know anything about me or stop by or anything like that. And definitely most of them don't give a fuck about my writing. Which I mean probably a lot of them don't even know about it either, but also the other problem is like everybody in the Discord just mutes all the notifications anyway, so they don't get notified about important shit. Like, we have so many people in the Discord that if everybody actually knew that we were doing customs again, you know how many people probably are in there that want to play customs but just don't know we're doing it again and they muted everything so they never know? And we literally have 300 people in the customs, or 300 people in the Discord, and most of them want to play customs. Most of them do. Yet we have 30 eligible members. Isn't that crazy? We literally have like 300 people in that Discord and almost all of them are there because they want to do customs. Literally almost all of them are there because they want to do customs. And we have 30 people eligible because no one's actually, like, listened, really. So it's pretty rough, man. Guess it's my fault for taking a break, but I don't know. Just tag all people that are in it and say we're doing customs, go watch this video and join. Dude, I've tagged everyone like every day talking about like, if you want to do customs, support this video so we can get more people to do them, and like literally like 5 people go and support the video. That's why I'm annoyed that the other video popped off and this one didn't, because if like a fucking fourth of the people that were in my Discord would just go onto my video and click 3 buttons, that's literally all you gotta do. Fuck it, you don't, like, I mean literally just, if you just clicked like, clicked save, and just clicked and typed any comment, doesn't matter what you typed, you can literally type just 1 letter and send. Doesn't fucking matter. If like a fourth of our Discord did that, my video would blow up, we'd get enough people, and we could do it tomorrow. Like, just so we're clear on how easy it would be for us to get customs going. That's literally all we'd have to do. Is just a fourth, maybe even a sixth. It doesn't have to be that many people. Like, if 20 or, like, 20, 30, 40 people out of our 300, which is a very small percentage, like 20 to 40 people would just click on the video and just take literally 1 minute. It would take less than a minute. That's literally, everything would be done. Because as you've been noticing, the videos I've been putting out, I get like, what, 10 or less of you guys to go on there, and like you guys favorite it and like it and comment on it, and look at how good they're doing. I mean, like, I've been posting 3 videos a day, and like one of them today is at like 7,000 views, and the one from yesterday is at like 9,000 views. Like, that shit's popping off, and a big part of it is just because like 10 people went and commented and liked it and everything. Like, it's pretty easy, really. Like, we could do that. We could literally get customs going like so soon. Well, we just had another person join our Discord. Oh, I didn't realize that's an easy way to check. So hang on, let me look. 26. We have 37 right now. Wait, no, that's not true. We have 39 people right now that are eligible for customs. So we are getting there. We're really getting there. 39's not bad. That's including mods, though, and I'm not sure how many of the mods are going to be playing, but 39 is a pretty good number. I would say we need to be around 60, but we gained like probably 4 or 5 today, I think. Something like that. And if that video, I think I'm going to repost it, Funny. I don't know, man. I think I'm going to repost that video. Because it only got 300 views, man. If that video can pop off like those other ones, if it can get like 9,000 views, trust me, we'll have enough people. That's all we need it to do. We need everyone to just fucking like that one video. Like, that's all we need to do. Because it was a good video, too. It was, like, it was funny. I think it was funny anyways. I don't know. I guess, like, I don't know. I'm biased, but I think it was funny. It was, like, it wasn't too long, either. Like, I don't feel like I overstayed it. I think it was perfectly fine the way it was. The only other, I mean, I could try posting it a bit earlier. That could help too, but I really need, like, I don't know. I really need people to just help me. I don't know what to say other than just, like, people in our Discord really just need to do it. I mean, I get that it's kind of annoying that I'm asking people to, like, do it because it seems like I'm asking for shit, but it's like, it's not really for me. I mean, like, it helps me, obviously, and it's nice for me, but, like, it's not even about that. It's literally so we can just play customs. Like, it's literally for all of us. It's not just for me. Like, I'll do the same thing for other people. If you guys want to make videos, I'll fucking go and like and save it and shit. Shit, that's easy compared to what I'm doing. It's like that's kind of what's frustrating, man. It's like I'm putting in all the work to actually make the videos, and like people that want to play in the customs won't even put in the work just to click on the video and like it. It's like, you don't want to put in 1 minute to help. Yeah, well, I put in hours to make this shit. So think about how I feel. That you guys, like, won't put a fucking minute in here. Small price to pay, yeah, I mean, it's literally free. Like, I'm not asking anybody for anything. I mean, shit, it'd be different if I was asking people for shit. It's like, I'm literally asking for a fucking like and a save and a comment. It's not deep. And, like, maybe, I think people don't realize, I also think this is true. I think people don't realize how much it actually helps. Which is fair. I mean, if you don't make content, I feel like you don't get it. Because I didn't get it. Like, every YouTube video I ever watched, everyone would always they'd always say it, like, oh, please like and subscribe and comment, it really helps out a lot. I'd hear them say it every fucking time. And no matter how many times I heard people say that shit, I didn't like their videos, I didn't comment. Even if I liked the videos, I just didn't like. I never did, because I never really cared. I was like, it doesn't really matter. I mean, does it matter? Does my one like matter? Yes, it fucking matters, dude. Just to clear that up, yes, it really matters. Every like and every comment. Comments matter more, but, it matters. It matters a fucking lot, bro. It makes a big difference. I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, okay. Like, to put this in a different way, I mean, I know you probably get it. It's the other people that need to hear this. We have a Discord of 300 people, right? I know this isn't going to happen, but if I put out a video and none of you like it or anything, it'll probably get 200 views, 300 views, right? 300 views, like 500 views max, right? Something like that. If none of you guys get on and like it. If the entire Discord got on and liked that video, I would probably get 40k views. Just to put it in perspective of like how much that shit matters, like that would be a big thing. Like that, I think it would be like if none of you did anything, it'd be like somewhere around 500 or less views. If everyone in our Discord, like 300 people, like commented on it, liked it or whatever, it'd probably get like 40k or above. Because that would be an instant 300 comments and, like, it'd go crazy. Well, assuming it has to also be a decent video. It can't be a shit video. If it's a shit video, it'll probably not get that many. Because it needs other people to comment on it, too. But, like let's just, like, for rough example, imagine the videos that have popped off, like the ones that got 9k views, like, in the last 2 days. If one of those, if we had everyone in our Discord just, like it or comment it, it would pop off. Especially if it was in the first minute. Yeah, especially if it was early. Yeah, the earlier, I think, the better as well. Honestly, my videos have actually been doing pretty decent. Like, whenever I post them, I have noticed this. When I post an Apex video, it does get, like, 200 or 300 views, like, pretty much, like, in the first 30 minutes. Even without you guys, I think. Like, even if I don't tag the Discord or anything, I think I get, like, 200 views within the first few minutes. So, actually, my videos are hitting the algorithm decently, I think. Well, I don't know. Also, I'm just used to YouTube, which dude, I've been uploading YouTube shorts and they get 0 views, bro. It's just like, what the fuck, bro? Oh, fuck YouTube, man, I swear. Actually giving me nothing. Actually giving me nothing. I have 1.42k subscribers and I have fuck all on YouTube. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount of subscribers if I do say so myself. I mean, shit. Most people struggle to get 1,000, and I'm like halfway to, you know, doubling that. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do right now, and I don't know what to do with this shit. It's because nobody watches YouTube Shorts? No, I don't know. A lot of people watch them, but they just don't give me any views. YouTube Shorts are decently big. I mean, they're not as big as TikTok, of course, but like a decent amount of people watch them. I really can't believe the customs one didn't pop off, bro. I mean, it's because no one commented on it, pretty much. That's why. It, like, barely has any comments. I think it has, like, 12. Let me go check. It has 14 comments. Which isn't terrible, but it just didn't get very many comments and very many likes. But like, I really genuinely feel like that video is really good. Well, I don't know, the other video got fucking less comments, a few more likes, but I mean, it also has 170 more views, so it makes sense that it got a few more likes. But I don't know, the other video got fucking less comments, but it got more views, so. Eat and come back? Shit, bro. I already ate. I can't afford to. Oh, I didn't eat that much. I ate a little bit. I can't afford to keep eating, bro. This shit's expensive. I bought some, you know what I did buy? And they're really good and they're not that expensive. I bought some, like, country fried steaks. They were like, there's like 5 of them for like $12. I can afford that. And they're really goddamn good. I'm probably gonna have one tonight, like late. But dude, groceries are so expensive, man. I went to the store, I swear I bought $30 worth of shit, and then I go to the register and it's $50, and I'm just like, bro. Like, I literally, like, did a double take just looking at all my stuff. I'm like, how did this equal $50? That's literally, like, a day of, like today, at work, I made $20 in tips. Which is, like, typically how I make my money. So I basically made no money today. I feel like it wasn't even worth going into work. Like, that's how little I made. Because, like, you gotta assume, like, I used gas as well. Like, that $20, that's before I, like, I made in tips, like, what I'm gonna have to put back into my car. Pretty much. I'm just like, goddamn, bro. You know what'd be really amazing? Is if the customs would kick off and then I could start running tournaments and I could make money doing that. Because I could make money doing tournaments. If I could just get the customs, like, really pop off and have, like, a lot of people in there and get my name out there a bit and do tournaments, I could make some money on that. And then I'd be big chillin' in life. If I could make some money off of this shit, I'd be big chillin', bro. It would help so much. That's why I really tried to do the Kick thing. I mean, I'm not done with Kick or anything, but I really just need to grind the YouTube thing out and just get it done. That's kind of why I'm back here. But it feels like it's not moving at all, man. I mean, it's legitimately been 700 hours away for, I don't know, like a month. Like, it just hasn't moved, it feels like. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, inflation is crazy. It's pretty crazy because everything gets inflated except for my fucking paycheck. That shit doesn't. Still making like minimum wage plus tips. It's pretty fucking rough. Minimum wage is not a lot right now. I mean, it literally, minimum wage hasn't gone up in however many years, but the prices of everything goes up. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy how that works. Could try something and see if it'll work. Like what? What do you mean? Like a video? And the best thing that you guys could do is just like, if you have friends or anything, like if you, like all the people you play with, like, or talk to or whatever, that are willing to, just be like, yo, go like this TikTok real quick and like comment something, bro. That's honestly the best thing you guys could do, is like, for me at least, is just literally like when I put out the TikToks, especially when it has to do with the customs. Like, I mean, I'd like the support on everything, but also I get the fact that like commenting on everything could be kind of boring and annoying. But at least when I put out a custom video, because I don't really put out that many videos about customs. I put out like, I mean, I put out one today, but I haven't put out a custom video in like a couple days at least. Try to get the mods to push the word out. Yeah, that would help some. That would help some. I mean, one of the things you guys can do, because like, I mean, I do see, like, I decently am like caught up with the chat, but obviously like there's more of you guys than there is of me. One thing you could do is, if you ever see somebody like if you ever see somebody like typing in our chat or in our Discord, and it like, they don't have the tag for customs, but then maybe they're talking about customs, like when is it, or like, I want to play it, or if they ever mention anything about customs but they don't have the tag, like, at them directly and be like, yo, just so you know, to play in the customs you have to have that tag. You should go do that. Like, kind of, you guys could also do that, because I do think there are definitely some people in our Discord that want to play customs that still haven't done the, like, fucking tag thing, and it's like, bro, we're waiting on you guys to do that shit. Like, so, like, that's one thing. It's like we need to try to get the people that actually want to play to fucking do that shit, because some of them aren't, I think. So if you ever see somebody without the green tag, but they're talking about that shit, then might be worth mentioning. Should I just repost this TikTok right now, bro? I'm about to, because 300 views is, like, legitimately nothing for me. Like, no, I mean, I don't mean that in, like, an egotistical sense, but, I mean, you could obviously look at my videos, like, 300 is about as low as it gets. So I'm about to just fucking repost this bitch right now. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? What is the worst that could happen? Should I just delete it? I don't know if I should delete it. Is it worth deleting? Or should I just repost? I wonder how much the title matters. I wonder how much the title matters. I don't know if it matters that much. Like, probably not at all, right? Like, TikTok titles don't really matter too much at all. Because it's like, you're not clicking on it, you're getting it when you scroll. So it really shouldn't matter too much, right? I was gonna switch up the title or something. Is that worth it? I mean, maybe the thumbnail matters. I mean, I try to make the thumbnail good, like, I guess. I mean, I don't know, there's only so many things you can do with a thumbnail, though. With Apex gameplay, it's just kind of whatever. I'm about to tag everyone in our Discord again and just hope to fuck people check it out and... Alright, I'm posting it right now, though. Oh, my live stream is lagging, I think, because I'm posting it. I don't know if it's lagging for you anyways, but it's kind of doing some weird shit for me. Damn, it's posting this shit pretty goddamn slow. I know the tags matter a lot. I mean, I don't know if I should be adding more tags or not. Oh, you know what? Well, it's already too late. I already posted it again. Maybe I should have looked for like an Apex Customs tag or some shit. There might be one. I didn't really think about that. I mean, the tags that I use right now is FPS games, gaming, Apex Legends clips, Apex Legends clips. Wait, I don't know why I used that twice. Competitive gaming, FPS, Apex funny. Those are the tags I use right now. Competitive gaming. No, I already said that one. Yeah. I don't know. Those are the ones I use right at the moment. But maybe I should try to find a few more. I don't know. I don't know, I posted it again, I added everybody, it is what it is, we'll see what happens. I feel like this is a good video too, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm biased because it's me, but I feel like it's a good video. I feel like it's a good video, man. Where the fuck is this thing that I'm looking for, bro? Is it not plugged in right now? I'm so confused. No, it's not. Should I delete the old video or should I not delete the old video? Did it delete my video? Wait, what the fuck? My video doesn't exist right now. I'm so confused. I mean, the video exists when you click that link, but it doesn't exist on my profile? Where is it? I'm really confused. I don't know. It's like the video doesn't exist on my actual TikTok. Why is that? Huh. Interesting. It's like the video just disappeared. Huh. Now I am very confused. Very, very confused. The video doesn't exist, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I clicked the link, the video exists. I clicked my profile, video doesn't exist. Interesting. Interesting. Well, shit, bro.